I guess we could be thankful he didn't call it Tyler Perry's 688. But that's all I have to say.
This is our mission! And we will not fail!
I know it is technically a very inspiring story, and there's a lot to be impressed with these women about, and they were given an impossible job, and by Jove, they did it in far less time than any of these white men thought that they could do it. But at the end of the day, if we're being honest here, this is a 2-hour plus war film about sorting meal, and that is a hard sell at the best of times. The 6tripleeight is about a battalion of exclusively black women who volunteered for the army from across America during World War II, and they were the only such battalion sent to Europe, and this is the army didn't want them story, which leaves them all stuck sorting meal, and they are trying to catch up on the backlog of all the meal because the soldiers aren't getting their meal, and basically they, you know, they're not going to make a film about this unless they did it, are they? But they delivered something like 17 million pieces of meal in well under 6 months in the end it was. And it's an incredible story of how they fought against racism, and that's kind of what it's about. They fought against racism. Kerrywashington is their major, and she's in charge, and she trains them up, and then she gets abused and says, we are black women, we have to be better than all of them to prove ourselves, and then she talks about something similar in every scene for the rest of the film, pretty much. That's, yeah. It is so on the nose that your schnauzer's gonna hurt by the end of this one. The idea is nice, the story is cool. I just don't see how... Well, A, I don't really see how you could make this into a 2-hour war film and really make it work that well, because it is a tough sell. You can't just show them sorting meal for 2 hours, that's not... and they don't, because they don't even start sorting the meal for an hour. There was an hour of runtime before they started sorting the meal. Like, it's not an incredibly boring film. Like, it's definitely not as boring as it sounds, but it's not an exciting film either. And B, the problem is that even if there was a way to make this into a really exciting, very interesting, great film, Tyler Perry is not the director to do it. He's just not. Can you think of anyone less suitable to direct a war film? Even though this isn't a normal war film, anyone less suitable than Tyler Perry? It is, you know, it has a lot of traditional parts of a war film, all the training and stuff like that, them all signing up, getting to know each other. The problem to me is that none of these characters feel like characters. I don't know a single thing about, like, Kerrywashington's character, or the main girl that it really focuses on. Her big inspiration for joining up and all of this is because her white boyfriend died, and she keeps seeing this white guy's ghost, well, not actual ghost, but, like, she keeps seeing him lots of places and he talks to her. So it's a black woman that had to be inspired by a white man to do all this great stuff. It's, you know, it's just... But also, the whole second hour about them, like, sorting the mail is... It's not terrible to watch or anything like that, but it just... It's so cheesy. It's so cheesily made, you know? There is a whole scene where they're like, oh, things aren't going too well, and they're like, well, could we do this? And someone's like, yeah, I have the exact specific set of skills, we need to do that. Okay, you get on that. And, we could do this, you could do that, right? You could do clothes and things to sort all that out and figure out where those came from. And they don't really explain how any of them actually did these things. It's just kind of like, 10 minutes of the meal sorting is not going too well, and then, now we figured all this out in one scene in 5 minutes, and now the meal sorting's going really well. Like, I know it's difficult as a thing to show meal sorting being done this well and all of that, but all of the ways in which they achieve anything in this film feels so cringy and cheesy. My problem with Tyler Perry here is that he believes the way to make an inspiring war film, true story, is to just make every single scene some inspiring, indignant fight against racism. That's not that. You don't need to do that. And it wouldn't have been a problem for me that they didn't start sorting the meal for an entire hour plus in this film if we had characters, but we just don't. Kerrywashington's major is just a raging ball of indignity against racism. That is all she is there for. I don't know anything about her. Does she have a family at home? How'd she get into this position as a major? Nothing. I know nothing about her. And then the main kind of 5 characters, I just know one of them is not very nice, and one of them is the main girl who lost the white boyfriend. And I couldn't pick the other 3 out of a crowd. I don't know anything about them. I don't know anything about any of them. It's so frustrating to not create characters, to just have every single character in this be a kind of symbol against racism instead of actually having anything else. That was why it didn't work for me at the core of it. So I'm giving a Medea war effort 2.5 stars. There are just so many great war films out there and great war film directors out there. Not as much anymore because we don't get war films that much anymore. It's kind of sad, actually, but it's just insane to me to think that anyone went, oh yeah, Tyler Perry to direct this war film. Great idea. Like, hi.